kuci, ali da je vlada, ne znam ništa.
Gli ultimi due, quindi due scariche, sì, due scariche.
Questa li ho già contattati?
Questa la presenta da Italia, quindi dovrebbe essere. Invece quello, l'ultimo voce.
Что ты это шерсть?
Da, вот se radi. Zadovoljno je prezentacija.
Dobro, тут se radi.
Pa kaže kao mogu nastaviti kao jasnije.
Znači, a nije ovo. Da, ona je nastala se radi malo početi raditi.
Ono samo nutka.
Adesso ancora. Vado a fare poco santo. 5 minuti. Vado a fare poco santo.
Kako si vidi?
Sì, sì, questa è già partita.
Ko je bio najviše?
Ne znam, ja mislim čak po meni malo Bigler nije se snašao nekako.
Nije meni on bio dobro. Znaš kako se neki ispiti nije
Jest, da, jest. Jest, ali mnogo je žurio.
Jeste,
Žurio, ja ne to razumijem.
ali on ima dobar protokol, ne znam što on vodi dobru akciju.
Svi su tu neki.
Ne znam, ja zove, ja ne očekujem ništa. Ja sam sve samo stavku u postavim hranu. Što ti zabira da ti vidiš da on zabira. Bez obzira što on je žulio, a tu se vidi. Rodio. Nekako postavim stav da vam to počne bilo na vjerovatno. I kad sam to vidio, šta to znači? Ništa. Šta ovo znači? Ništa. Šta ovo znači? Čovječe Bože, 3 antičova uzmeš i riješiš po jednu sekundu. Meni bi što može bio puno mislim, zanimljivo.
Ali on je puno sebe.
Zato je to, slušaj, tu ti sad, vi ćete svi dobiti okivac, ne znam što vi pričati. Znači, to su 3 gluposti.
Ne, ovaj njim rekao, ja se ne slažem s njim. Zalazi on puno od... Zalazi s njim. Njegova tema je vezana sa nastavstvo, rekao je ovo pričao. Njegova tema je vezana za životinje, životinje slično. Za ljude.
Priča biti gluposti generalno, razumiješ? To ti klinci ne shvaćaju.
Kaže on, hoće da radi kao na institutu da se ide. Kaže profesor, kaže, hoće to jest. Ti misliš da higijena okej? Kaže on, čisto je.
Koji pojel? Koji ti standarde možeš da zadovoljiš uopšte u svoju školu? Ja radi ukladno u polju iz pekla i pojela skuvala. Ovo ovdje što
on kaže, ne razmišlja uopšte, on samo ganja šta su ti ostavci od ti, kako se zove. On ne se opada u tim ostacima, možda je...
Gdje bi gdje? Ti moraš sama sebe. Znači ti uzmeš sada na neke stanci, gledaš na filmske analize, predstaviš tu, a tvoj je uvijek popakao, ti nije istine. Ti isto vrijeme izgleda. Možeš ti Ti reći da su svi tako.
Dobro.
Mjerović. To se sve na kraju se reći koliko je student inteligentan, koliko je...
Ma stvari koje prenijeti, što su radili.
To možeš sad prinesti, to samo prođe da prvo sebe. Sve ne može, to se završeno, nemaš i... To ti sad je najlakše, postoje tek kontra, ali stvarno bitno koliko je student. Ovo je meni ne vjeri, ovo nema, sad imamo posebno. Ovo je isto, ovo ne vjeri. Ovo je možda ne radi, koliko hoćeš, što će mi divan, stvarno dobro. Ovo je malo zemlje na kraju. Ne možeš ti
Really?
Who's going to your seat?
Not me. One guy from
Ah,
aviation.
nothing good. I thought someone of out. I don't know. Maybe only for the face. Not now. It's the virus. One moj zovu. Vrati se kući. Kažem ja, sestri, pa mi nam je bliže vama nego meni. Panika.
Ima ime sad sviše. Už kako je, rekao, ne možete to spriješiti. I
A
kada
šta ću
odeš,
makar,
to
sam se
treba
meni
riješiti.
desilo prošle godine, sve stvari, šta ću se.
Ne možete to provaliti.
Gluposti. Ljudi su nauki, ovdje su nauki, mužiš kako se daje hrane, nije rad. Sam ne pravi gluposti.
I kažem, ja vam išao oko tebe, 70 eura 10 malo mjesto.
Nema, nakon što ću mi da hrana, što ćeš ti, stvarno praviš daje hrane. Sam ne praviš kaos u jednoj državi. Što svi na cijelu isto pomaže. I tu ti ono, tipa, drugo daje, ali to ću mi mogu jesti.
Koje je pravo? Zašto? Ja nisam mogu pretjerati.
Nisam našao u tome, ne,
Uvijek, što je to?
Hi.
Please, Mina, share the presentation.
Yes. Wait. Just wait a minute. Okay. Is it now shared,
Yes.
Dr. Ramos?
Yes.
Put it in slideshow.
Ciao, senti, la tua studentessa sta presentando adesso, se puoi seguire. Sta presentando adesso, devi presentare adesso. Sì, è anticipato tutto il programma.
Should I now?
No, solo guardare. Ok, ciao.
Just 1 second.
Okay.
We cannot see, it's too small, Mina.
Sure,
I can't hear you.
It's too small.
Put it full screen
It's
first.
too small. Okay, now.
No, put it full screen.
Mina, show yourself also in the beginning while
Antonio.
Okay,
Siamo
now.
a casa, no? Mangiavo con voi.
Now, is it clear?
it's still very small, Mina.
Ahmed, I don't think so she can
Okay,
affect it.
just tell me, what is the
She
small?
cannot
The
increase the size.
presentation
For
or
her,
my
that is full
photo?
screen.
The presentation is very small.
Oh my god.
Here it's okay.
And now?
Share
Now,
it now.
it's okay. No.
Now?
Yes. No, it's
No.
small. It's still small. Still
It's
small.
too small too?
Yes.
Prova a fargli fare control plus.
For her, that is a full screen. I don't think so she can affect the size.
No, probably
You must continue
the
like that.
settings of
Yeah,
her presentation.
Exactly.
Try to do control plus.
Is it linked?
Control plus.
The size, the slide.
The screen is too small. They are seeing it too small. The screen are seeing it too small.
Maybe-
Control plus.
Maybe
Now-
she can change.
And now?
No, it's still small.
It's still small. It's still small. I will try control plus. Now
Bravo.
it's good.
A little bit better, but it's still
It's
not really visible.
really visible. They can't see it well.
You see, Mina, how it's important to test the presentation before?
Yeah, but I tested yesterday. It was very good.
To test from our side. Test the connection and also to test by using the projector.
Questo qui è Mona Mazze.
Okay.
Che mi chiede non c'è?
What should I do now?
I don't know.
Non c'è.
Isn't it wrong?
Non so che possiamo fare.
No. It's a technical issue from your computer, probably from settings or I don't know.
If you do that, if you do control plus now, something happens.
Yeah, it will be Zoom, but
You see-
I can't see
you see-
the whole
go-
screen
Go ahead,
on
go
my
ahead.
computer.
Do it once more.
No, her computer, she's zooming.
Yeah, but that's better than before.
Yeah, but I can't see it.
You cannot. So it's a real problem.
It's
a
zoomed.
setting issue. So,
Setting issues, Mina.
with the computer.
Which type of computer you are using?
Asus. It's in the office. I don't know
Oh,
what
it's
that is.
settings.
It's from settings,
It's settings.
settings of the presentation itself.
Ma tu ce l'hai la presentazione?
Facciamo prima.
No, on PDF.
Allora, mettiamolo nel PDF. E lei parla. Vedi, vai avanti. PDF non c'è l'animazione.
Okay. Should I check the settings?
Well, I don't know if now if you change the settings, you have to change the presentation all. No, it will be mixed up and
You have a lot of animation.
Yeah. Yes.
and
So
you
we
have-
cannot look at the PDF.
No, and also you have sent the presentation as PDF. You should have sent as presentation. You know.
As PowerPoint, but it was so big. It was about
So
28.
there are many methods to send big files. Se presenta adesso.
Fammi presentare.
So please,
Facciamo presentare così,
present
facciamo
us.
finire. Go ahead.
Okay. It's Mina Mazeh. I'm born and raised in the south of Lebanon, which is known by the propagation of olive trees. So for me, this was a subject of interest that I wanted to expand my knowledge and pursue my master's degree in. My project is entitled by use of biostimulants to promote the growth of young olive trees. Here we have the general definition of biostimulant. Biostimulant is any substance or microorganism applied to plants with the aim to enhance nutrition efficiency, abiotic stress, tolerance, and or crop quality traits, regardless of its nutrients content. By extension, plant biostimulants also designate commercial products containing mixture of such substances and or microorganisms. According to the classification of biostimulants in Italy, according to the decree, they are specific action products, and as products that are applied to the soil or to the plant that favor or regulate the absorption of nutrients or correct certain physiological abnormalities. What biostimulants are based on? Stimulants are represented by different types of products based on amino acids, on vegetable and animal origin, peptides, vitamins, enzymes, substances with hormone-like effect, antioxidants, humic and fulvic acids, and some strains of microorganisms such like beneficial fungi and beneficial bacteria. Okay, how can we classify biostimulants? Many groups of biostimulants have been distinguished through their method of application. It could be foliar, it could be soil application. And also the material from which they were produced, which is origin. Origin could be plant and their origin could be animal. And also by process which they were created. Biostimulants can be created by hydrolysis or by extraction or by fermentation. What are the benefits of biostimulants? They get better germination and root development, more efficient energy and nutrient uptake and transport, metabolic process optimized, greater vigor and stress resistance, higher crop quality and yield, as well as they improve forage nutritional value. Okay, interest in improving the growth of young olive. We are interested in improving the growth of young olive, but very few studies have concerned the use of biostimulants in order to promote the growth of young olive trees. The results are contradictory because in one study, the use of biostimulant promoted a higher growth, while in the other, it didn't. We would like to try biostimulants of the following groups which have been indicated as able to promote the growth of the plants. They are two. One is based on protein hydrolysate and other N-containing compounds, and the other seaweed extracts and botanicals based. What is the aim of our project? Is to evaluate the effects of two types of organic biostimulants on the growth and physiology of young olive trees. Actually, 4 months have passed since the start point of this project. During this period, literature examination has been done and that will remain till September. At the same time, my proposal was being prepared and requirements for the experiment were asked for. The experiment will be started at the beginning of growing season, which is the late March or early April, till the late of August. We will then taking the measurements and doing the observations for the trees, as well as management and experiment and elaboration of data will be done. Materials and methods. We have chosen the cultivar, which is the 1-year Licino trees. It's an old olive which is known in Italy and all the countries which cultivate olive. Now, what are the biostimulants which will be used in my experiment? In my experiment, We have chosen these biostimulants on the basis of positive results we have obtained with their use in a preliminary trial in olive. Used both in fertigation and for foliar treatments in this protein hydrolysis and other N-containing compounds, which is Synergon. And the other one is used for foliar treatment. It is a seaweed extracts and botanicals, which is Matches BC. The treatments, there are 7 treatments will be done. First of all, general control plants with normal supply of nutrients. The other treatment as foliar spray with Synergon 3000. The third one, treatment as foliar spray with urea by supplying the same amount of N supplied with Synergon 3000. The fourth one, it's a foliar spray but by matches, not by Synergon. The fourth one is the spraying by urea with the same content of N supplied by the matches. The sixth one is a treatment as fertigation with the Synergon, and the last one is fertigation with urea by supplying the same amount of N supplied in Synergon. These are the 7 treatments. We will start it in the late March, early April, and the biostimulants will supply periodically every about 10 days for a total of 4 treatments. At the same time, urea will be applied by supplying the same amount of nitrogen supplied with the biostimulant, and 10 trees for each treatment will be used as the replicates. Okay. First of all, and before the experiment starts, the diameter of the stem will be measured 5 cm above the collar, and the total height of the plants will be measured too. Then, these measurements will be repeated periodically every 1 to 2 weeks for all the duration of the experiment, which will take place up to mid-August. In addition, the lateral shoots will be counted and their length will be measured. Also, in addition to the growth, the physiological state of the trees will be determined by measuring the photosynthetic activity and related parameters, tomatal conductance, transpiration, and internal concentration of CO2 of fully development leaves by using the ABC device. This is the device. And also, in addition, at month intervals, the water content will be determined along with the contents of chlorophyll, carbohydrates, and nutrients in the leaves. At the beginning and at the end of the experiment, plant will be destroyed to quantify the biomass of the various components of the trees, so that we can make the difference between these two biomass at the beginning and at the end. Finally, the data will be elaborated in order to calculate average standard error. In addition, data will be submitted to ANOVA and means will be separated by using the Nucleus test. What are the expected results and what we can know from them? First expected result, it will be the potential of using amino acid or algae-based stimulants to promote the growth of young olive trees. The second one, the effects of biostimulants on the production of assimilates with photosynthesis and their metabolism and distribution among the different components of the plant. Third expected result is the possibility for a subsequent use of considered biostimulants in the field. Is indicated to accelerate the growth of young trees in new olive orchard, or it's indicated to improve the growth of shoots in the adult trees. In conclusion, and after the literature on biostimulants, 2 biostimulants have been chosen to be used in the experiment on Licino 1-year-old tree. And up to now, the time schedule of the research activity has been respected. And in the next work, in the mid-March, trees will be acquired, and then plant treatments will be applied, and then scheduled observation measurements will be started. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mona. I'd like to make to ask you a question related to the treatments.
Yes.
you will apply 7 treatments,
Yes.
and I want to know the amount of nitrogen that you apply will be the same in all 7 treatments or no?
No, for sure not.
Oh.
With respect to the Synergon, and according to the firm, to the brochure of the firm, the Azienda, Synergon will be applied, it's written to be applied 15 to 30, so we chose to apply it in 20 grams per each tree.
Yeah, but you don't think it would be appropriate to have all the treatments comparable on the amount of nitrogen supplied? You get
What? I didn't get it.
Don't you think appropriate that all the treatments can be comparable in terms of the amount of nitrogen supplied?
Yes, sure. That's why we made the control treatments by adding the urea, by applying the urea. So for each treatment, we had other control treatment, adding urea, and this urea will be the same quantity of nitrogen, which is applied in both of the
but it's not the same for all the 7 treatments. It's only in group. So you have one treatment and then the urea adding the same amount of nitrogen of the treatment. Is correct?
No, they are 7 treatments. Synergon on foliar, and we will make the urea on the foliar. Then Synergon and fertigation, we will make the urea control on the fertigation way. Then the other biostimulant, which is matches, we will apply it foliar, and the urea will be foliar too.
Yeah, this is the question.
Then the control, the general control, will be without anything. It's like standard substances.
Yeah. No, but I mean the two commercial products
Yes.
have a different amount of nitrogen.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So how can you compare between the two of them? I understand the other comparison.
We have calculated. We have calculations to make the urea, the nitrogen and the urea for both of them.
Okay.
For example, I will make an example. The nitrogen and the urea for Synergon is 3.87.
What?
Okay, while the nitrogen and the 20 grams of Synergon is 1.78.
So it's different.
So if we make the calculations, we can divide it in each plant how much nitrogen we will apply. We have all the calculations.
Okay. How old are the young plants?
What?
How old are the young plants? The plants.
Like
all
1 year. 1 year.
1 year old. Okay.
Yes.
No question.
Did you ask me how years old are the plants?
Yeah, you answered. You said 1 year, right?
Yeah, very young plant. Just one question. Why did you choose olive plant? Olive generally are very strong plant that can live everywhere. Long. So why you want to see this result? Can you understand me?
Why I chose this variant or why I chose olive in
the
general?
species olive in general. Yeah. Why?
Vabbè, finito.
There is a need. I mean, there is a need to improve growth of this plant that can, as I said, live everywhere. Rock mountain.
As I started my presentation, that I'm born in South Lebanon, between olive trees, and it is an interest for me to work and deal with olive.
Yeah, okay, but in my opinion, there is another reason. For example,
it's an important tree.
Yeah, sure.
It's not most of countries will not grow this
Yeah.
tree.
Everywhere there is a Mediterranean climate.
Mediterranean, yeah,
Yeah,
there's all. Where
is
there's
they are low.
Mediterranean, there's all.
Another reason, one reason can be, for example, that the super intensive new way for training the plants needs plants that are growing
Grow
very
fast.
fast, because also the life of this kind of training system of these plants is not so long. So to have the right sites in a few years is better than other. Okay, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mona.
Thank you.
Bye bye. No, l'ultimo sforzo.
Ciao Zon.
Ciao, ciao.
Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Share the presentation,
Okay.
please.
Yes,
So, Exxon Ismaili from Kosovo.
yes, that's right.
Role of organic sector as generator of employment and rural development in Kosovo. Very ambitious title, huh?
Yes, that's right.
Supervised by Susana Mazaric and E. Jokai.
I'm Jokai.
Jokai from University of Kosovo. Please, whenever you're ready.
You can, Exxon, you can stop your camera for having good connection.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for introducing me. So my topic is role of the economic sector as generator of employment and rural development in Kosovo, exploring farmers' willingness to convert. This is going to be what I will present, but without further ado, I will start presenting that Kosovo as a small it has natural and is favorable natural condition. If you see the slides.
Exxon?
Yes.
We only see the first, huh?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Nice.
Here we go.
Yes. So Kosovo is a small country and it has a favorable natural condition for organic agriculture development. It has pretty well organized legislative framework and national organic action plan. Also, it has institutions very keen and committed to support this sector. For example, providing subsidies. But the organic sector is not in a desirable level. So this is our question, why is happening so? You mentioned that 60% or 1.3 million of people live in rural areas, and 60% of this population is below age of 30 years old, making Kosovo a composition with very young people. The major crops are wheat, corn, vegetables, including orchards as well, and beekeeping. So in general, the sector is pretty much diverse. Thus presenting all together a great human and natural potential to further develop agriculture in Kosovo. But the question is, when did the sector of organic started? Actually, it started way back in 2002 when the public university started to introduce the course for organic to raise awareness among students, and then only in 2008 it had its first law on organic. Then just after that, in 2009, it had first certification for organic fertilizer. Then, back again in 2012, it had approval of the new law on organic and establishment of an association, Organica, in 2013. Then recently, in 2018, it had publication of National Organic Action Plan. So, organic sector is in its very first steps, and is ongoing, growing process. So far it has 424 hectares of organic land and more than 373,000 of hectares of certified zones with 100 producers, 100 producers, 35 processors, and 45 collection centers. The vast majority of this production is non-food forest plant and products and medicinal and aromatic plants. Only few production is honey. So, who helped to build this sector is main stakeholders of organic agriculture in Kosovo, which are farmers and collectors and processors, because their income is mainly from organic production. Ministry of Agriculture, which has very good financial incentives for farmers, for organic farmers, and Organica, for example, and also the NGOs who provide expensive services for farmers, like trainings and knowledge exchange. However, working in organic, it comes with several challenges and barriers, but also with motivation. And these all differ from country to country according to their level of development, farmers knowledge and awareness, and other factors. So in the literature review, we found out that the categorization of these barriers of production, for example, there are economic barriers, like, for example, high cost of production, institutional barriers, lack of proper incentives, or, for example, also social barriers, lack of farmers' knowledge exchange. As in regard to motives to convert, organic can be different as economic, environmental, and social. So by economic, for example, premium price is motivator for some farmers. There are farmers who consider they take care about the environment, and also farmers who feel good and feel happy to provide healthier produce. Also, organic agriculture techniques and practices are labor intensive with increased job opportunities. At the same time, organic creates new market opportunities and added value price. It increases quality of life as less pollution, high quality food, and in a way it is supposed to believe that traditional small-scale farmers could support the basis of agriculture-led development, and at the same time it promotes innovation, conservation, participation, and integration, all just being very important part to have sustainable rural development. In order to structure our thesis, we developed which are what is level of farmers' willingness to convert organic in relation to their awareness and knowledge about organic agriculture and their socioeconomic profile, and which are the main motivations and barriers they face and at the same time expect in this process, and what main sector stakeholders see as major barrier and obstacle to faster development of the sector. How can organic sector contribute to increase rural development in Kosovo? These research questions helped a lot to identify our objectives. One of the main objectives for our research is to explore farmers' willingness to convert to organic agriculture through assessment of their awareness and knowledge about agriculture, and identification of main barriers to this plan. Also, to assess opinions of different stakeholders on main barriers and how to overcome them, and to use obtained data from the field to identify how organic sector could contribute in increasing rural development. These objectives are meant to be on focus on a specific district, which is the Tijan district, to be our study site. This district is very well known for wheat, corn production, also vegetables, livestock. As to date, there are only 3 certified operators in organic agriculture in this region. So we've got to develop the thesis in this. Besides just research, which we are using, certain importance is given to also to primary research. So we are going to use tools like survey the farmers, which will start very soon. We have also semi-structured interview with key stakeholders and focus group discussions with selected stakeholders to achieve our objectives. Then we're going to use statistical analysis using descriptive statistics. Then factorial analysis will be used to summarize the survey data to a small quantity as to identify possible correlation between surveys and between farmers. Also, we now are working and we are trying to identify statistical method to estimate probability of farmers to adopt organic agriculture. So we are trying to see who is more willing. But at the very end, we are going to use theory of change to better represent our findings. The question is, what is theory of change? It is a very innovative tool for this kind of research, as it is not used for this kind of research, but it's mostly used for project development. But we saw a gap, and we were very curious to use this tool, as this tool will help us, this theory will help us to better understand what we want to achieve. It will connect our mission and action through outcomes. So in a way, it is seeing the big picture after we obtain the data, so what we want to achieve, and through it, we're going to set the actions and activities that we will do and implement. So it will help us think backwards and connect our long term with necessary preconditions and activities. And we are at the end of the thesis we are expecting actually to have these outcomes, which is assess willingness of conventional farmers in Kosovo to convert to organic agriculture, obtain yield in terms of awareness of farmers to organic, identify the main barriers for farmers to convert to organic agriculture, increased awareness of organic agriculture, especially among the farmers, obtain better understanding of the relation among different actors, which will help us to identify more and better opportunities in agriculture. The very last slide, we have all the timeline of activities, which next steps will be to survey farmers with the questionnaire that we have on the you have any remarks?
Okay, thank you very much. Exxon, I have a question concerning the methodological approach, which I found a little weak in the presentation. So, you have any other details about how you will approach the interview structure, the number of farmers to be involved, some additional information? Because on this data you will apply also statistics. Therefore, it's important to understand what will be the analytical base on which you will make the calculations, the analysis.
Thank you for the question. Yes, indeed, it is not that we didn't think about it, but we didn't feel the need to present it yet because we don't have for now an accurate form will be involved, but the sample size is going to be selected later when after it will be identified the whole number of farmers in this district, and then it will be processed in the next steps before we start the survey, of course.
Okay. No question needed?
Yes, actually I see that your research question is quite broad, and so my first question is how do you expect that the context you are going to analyze will be different from other contexts that you have found in the literature? So to what extent the Kosovo context will make a difference in relation to other contexts that you have been seeing in the literature?
That's a very good question as well. This is the whole point because Kosovo is very young for the agriculture, and this is what will be the key point because all farmers in Kosovo are different in terms of their awareness and knowledge, including also non-organic agriculture. So, in the research or research review, we found out, for example, cases of other countries which are developed and they have a higher and better opinion about organic. They do not see it as only for the price, for example, but they care about the environment. But in Kosovo, it can be another case. So I am expecting to be very different from what we found. Not very, but it will be different from what we found out so far in the literature review. Our farmers are hardworking, but it is just the way they work is not maybe us in other countries.
Okay, thank you. And another question is that you mentioned the theory of change, but I didn't understand whether you are going to use the theory of change before carrying out the survey or after it. Because in my view, it would be much more useful to consider it before, to have an hypothesis of what you are going to look for with the questionnaire, because otherwise you will leave the questionnaire very broad, and then you will have to make sense of a lot of data you have collected, and you will have some difficulties in defining a strategy for research.
I understand. As for now, we are thinking to implement by the theory of change after we obtain the data, after we see what farmers think and want from organic, and as a result, we are going to do activities or right activities, how we will achieve this the long term of the vision.
Yeah.
But it is a good also what you said, so take it into consideration.
Yes, take into consideration that if you don't have a theory, it will be very difficult to design a proper survey, because in the end you will have to make a lot of questions, but these questions are not related to a specific hypothesis. So I warmly suggest you to figure out at least a kind of theory of change on the beginning, maybe with some exploratory interviews before starting the survey.
Okay. Antonio? Okay, thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, so we got to the end of it.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.